Assalamu alaikum, grade 12 students. Here again, we have media literacy for week 2. In this video recording, I will explain the assignments of week 2. We will have a reading assignment and a language assignment and a feedback assignment that will be considered as a bonus one. Here again, I will start with explaining the learning intentions of week 2. So I will start with the learning intention number 1. By the end of this lesson, students, you will be able to evaluate multiple sources of information presented in different media or formats. And here we are talking about advertisements. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to analyze different advertisements and different media formats. To analyze advertisements using persuasive techniques. As we learned in the previous week, we will use the persuasive techniques, the logos, the ethos, pathos appeals to analyze advertisements. And of course, with the language part, you will be able to combine sentences in a variety of combinations. We will learn so many methods how to combine sentences. Now I will move to the success criteria. I'll start with name it. I can identify multiple sources of information. In here, we are talking about the multiple sources of information that you will find in advertisements like social media ads, newspapers and magazines, outdoor advertising, video ads, product placement, and so on and so forth. Explain it. I can identify persuasive techniques used by advertisers. Here you will use the persuasive techniques that you learned in week 1, like the pathos, ethos, and logos appeals. You will try to look at advertisements and try to identify the persuasive techniques that were used by advertisers to persuade people. Connected. I can analyze advertisement posters using persuasive techniques. Here, you will use these persuasive techniques, the logos, the ethos, and the pathos strategies to analyze advertisement posters. Finally, teach it. I can combine sentences using a variety of combinations. In week 2 assignments, you will learn about new methods and new strategies of how to combine sentences. Now I will move to the resources. In this slide, you will find some resources to read about the persuasive techniques used in advertisements. Actually, there are 3 links. The first link, if you Google it, you will find an article that is about media literacy, persuasive techniques in advertising. The persuasive techniques used in advertisements, as you learned in week 1, are the pathos, logos, and ethos strategies. Pathos, which uses emotions to appeal to a consumer, logos, which uses logical reason to appeal to a consumer, and ethos, which uses credibility or character to appeal to a consumer. The second link is a YouTube video. It is an example of a lesson on media literacy using advertisements, where students were competing in class to analyze advertisements. They analyzed the content, the images, the wording, and the background. Their teacher gave them an example of an advertisement and advertisement posters, and they tried to use the persuasive techniques to analyze these posters. They focused on the images, the background, the color, and the content of these advertisements. The third link is a YouTube video on how to analyze a print advertisement. It will help you analyze advertisements as well by answering a number of questions. What does the image say? What does the text say? How does the image in an advertisement attract consumers' attention? Now, once you are done with reading about the persuasive techniques used in advertisements, I want you to use what you learned and implement these persuasive techniques to analyze these 2 print advertisements. Have a look at the images, the wording, the background, the text used, and use the techniques, the persuasive techniques, to solve the coming questions in the coming slide. Now I will continue explaining the English reading assignment. You will find a worksheet with a number of analytical questions that you will answer. You will use the print advertisements in the previous slide to answer the following questions. This worksheet is uploaded on Edmodo. You will try to answer the questions and submit your answers in the assignment folder on Edmodo, of course. Don't forget to use the rubric while answering the questions. Question number 1. Who created the message and why? According to you, who was the one who created this message and for which reason did they create these 2 print advertisements? What information might have been omitted from this message? What do you think? What was removed from these 2 print advertisements? Think about it. Which techniques are used to attract my attention and influence my response? According to you, what are the techniques? And here you have to go back to the persuasive techniques that you learned in the previous week. The logos, the ethos, and the pathos strategies. Think about the wording, think about the images, the background that was used, the text that was used in these 2 print advertisements, and explain your answer. How might different people understand this message differently? Of course, so many people will understand the messages hidden in these 2 print advertisements in different ways. Explain how and why. What ideas, values, and biases are communicated? You have to explain what kind of ideas are delivered here, what kind of values are communicated in these 2 print advertisements. Why is this message being sent? According to you, why did they send that particular message? You have to explain it as well. And who is profiting from this message? Who is gaining a lot from these 2 print advertisements? Explain your answers. Now let's move to the language part. In this language part, you will find some resources to read about the different methods of combining sentences. The first YouTube video is about using prepositional phrases to combine sentences. A prepositional phrase is anything that follows a preposition. You will find clear explanation, detailed explanation, and clear examples about how to use prepositional phrases to combine sentences. The next 2 YouTube videos are about appositives and how we use appositives to combine sentences. I'm pretty sure that the first question you will ask is, what is this device? What are appositives? How do we use appositives to combine sentences? Actually, an appositive is a noun phrase that clarifies or redefines its antecedent. An antecedent means something that comes before. Here again, you will find a clear explanation and clear examples about appositives. The last YouTube videos are about using subordinating conjunctions to combine sentences. How to use subordinating conjunctions to combine dependent and independent sentences. You will find detailed explanation with detailed examples and an online quiz as well that will help you better understand the different methods of combining sentences. Here now you will find the English language assignment. Once you master the strategies of combining sentences by using prepositional phrases, by using subordinating conjunctions, and by using appositives, you will use what you learned to solve a language worksheet that was uploaded on Edmodo assignment folder. So please solve all the questions and submit your answers on the assignment folder as a Word document, of course. Finally, let's move to the feedback assignment. As you did in the previous week, you will answer a number of questions, but this time I want you to submit your answers as Word documents. Question number 1, what am I doing at this lesson? I want you to analyze, reflect on yourself. What did you do? How did you find the lesson? What did you learn from the assignments that you solved in this lesson? How am I doing it? How am I doing it? How are you doing with the reading assignment, with the language assignment, with the media literacy lesson in general? Where to next? What I need to do to become better? According to you, reflect on your progress. What did you learn? What should you do in the future to do better in this lesson? You write the answers to these questions and you submit them as Word documents in the assignment folder on Edmodo.